Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
So we haven't done an update video in a while, so we're sitting out here on our balcony. So if you hear any outside noise, like people coming by on motorcycles, that's what it is.
Or construction.
Or construction. Right. So what's happened since last time we talked? Got your passport.
Yes. I got my new passport.
Albanian.
And Albanian passport and my driver's license and my ID.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that took about visits to, 8 different places, or I don't know.
Yeah, it was I was pleasantly surprised of how efficiently the system worked. People were nice and it was hard, the e-Albania part, which is like they have an online system where you do the application for these things. That was a little bit harder to navigate, and I can't imagine how hard it might be for older people who are not able to work, with technology and don't have smartphones and all of that. So they need extra help. Kind of limits them because it's just there is no other option. You have to go through the online e-Albania process. And the other thing that was very interesting was that when I applied for my driver's license, I had to go out of town, and it was quite a drive or a long bus ride. And the funny part about it is that you do the application there, and you get your pictures taken, you pay the money and everything, but you don't get the license there. And they're like, okay, it's going to be ready in half an hour, but not here. It's going to be ready across town. So you have to come back into town, into another office to get that.
Right.
And same thing, like for your passport, there is a different place where you apply and then a different place where you pick it up. Other than that, I am very pleased with the efficiency, and all the workers there were really all nice and did their job, and I was really pleased with that.
Yeah, I think every country, every city, state, there's always this bureaucracy. And,
I know.
I think the difference here is very informal. It's like, depends who you talk to that day, and, it's just like, hey, yeah, sure, go down here and get this.
Yeah.
But, okay, so, and then I have applied for my residency, and right now I have 2-month temporary until it gets processed, and that process was pretty easy because we paid someone, like you can go to an agent or like a lawyer or whatever, and you just have to bring them all documents, and then they handle filing and stuff. So that actually was pretty easy.
Yeah.
So, so we'll see. So that'll mean if it goes through, that means I can stay here for 5 years, up to 5 years.
Yeah.
I think I have in that 5 year. If I wanted to, after that 5 years, go for citizenship or extend it within that 5 year period, I can't leave a lot. Like I can be gone like 2 months every year. I have to
which is a pretty common rule for every country when you need to apply for
that you're
for
actually
citizenship.
living here. Yeah. So we'll see, but it'll let me open a bank account. I think I can. What else? I can
buy a car,
purchase property, and maybe work. We have to figure out the work permit.
You
might
can,
be different, but
I don't know.
So anyway, so that's what's going on. And then let's see. I don't know. We wanted to. There's all these topics we want to talk about, like fun things going in Albania. So, but we noticed like kids are treated very different here in the U.S. So, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. We see kids. All over the place, and it's very common that for young moms especially or grandparents to get like little kids, like toddlers at the cafe, or even babies. It's so sweet to see them, like they take them out, and look, toddlers are just walking around.
Yeah, it seems here like, well, first of all, it's a city, and it's it's not a car culture. You walk everywhere, and it's self-contained. But I noticed this. It seems like as soon as a kid can walk, then they're walking. Like their parents are carrying them around.
Right.
And you'll see them walking home from school, and they're just like, especially in the winter, it's cute because they're in their little coat, and they're just like but yeah, they're much. It reminds me of like when we were kids, like at least in the States, where you weren't. I don't know. I'm not trying to be like, oh, these kids are coddled today.
All the time.
Yeah, but they are much more. And from an outsider, I noticed like they're much more part of the culture. Like you go into a cafe, and there's always at least 4 kids there with their parents, and they're running around, but they're not running around noisily. I think because they're used to moving around, they don't have all this.
I think they're used more to being around adults.
Yeah. They're not screaming, and also in Albania, like you notice when a kid's around, it's almost like the whole community is taking care of them. Like the whole cafe is. It's not weird to like pat a kid on the head or say hi to him, or he'll come up to you and I notice like if a kid like knocks something off a table or something and spills it, the parents don't get all like embarrassed. People are like, oh, it's okay, you're okay, and yeah, it's really it's interesting. They seem very happy.
There's still an outdoor culture, like you see kids playing outside, which is amazing.
Yeah,
kids are pretty independent, and they stay outside like we did when we were kids.
Yeah, and even with when we're on the bus, I would say if the kids are maybe 11, 12 or something, going to school, you see 4 or 5 of them on the bus there. But,
you'll see like a 9, 10-year-old coming at the grocery store and buying something. Have the money.
We were behind this one kid, and he was buying stuff for, I guess, his parents, and I guess he had some money left over because he said, how much are those, to some sort of like candy or something. And the guy said how much it was, and the kid's like, put 2 up, and he's like, and then he put 3, 4, 5. Like you can see him counting
how much money he had.
And then what did that little girl say? She went in. She wanted to buy a pen or pencil or something, and she asked how much it was.
Oh, she said mashallah.
Like
which means that's expensive.
Yeah. She was like mashallah, and like walked out or something. So they're really and then once and I think like when we were kids, once they're old enough to be out on their own, they're out hanging out with their friends, and the other thing you notice especially in residential areas, a lot of the cafes have, it's kind of similar to what you used to see in McDonald's or Burger King, where they had those little play areas, like, so it'll be like whatever, like not a ball pit, but like the swings and just
they have
like a little.
Almost every cafe that has, or restaurant that has outdoor space has a playground area. And for the restaurants that are like outside of Tirana, they're a little bit in the country, in the forest, that it's a little bit quieter, and there's more space. They have a whole full playground that kids can play.
And even the malls here, like the one mall here, the top floor is basically this giant kids play zone, and the parents, you just drop the kid off and you go do your shopping, and then you come back.
Pay. I don't know how much it is now, but
and pick it up. So.
And it's fun. Like you have, your kid has fun because they're playing, they're making new friends with other kids there, and there are people watching them there, and it's like an hourly daycare.
So here's an example. That's that little boy that lives in our neighborhood.
Yeah,
he's down there. He's yelling at the construction workers. So, but it's really it's fun to watch. But you notice they are building like some suburbs of Albania now. They're building these like gated communities, and I'm curious what it's going to be like for kids there.
I think that unfortunately, slowly, especially like the middle class, upper middle class, are getting a little bit more becoming that type of isolating themselves and living in gated community and not having time because being at work a lot, and having kids like either be at school or be at home. So. Yeah, it's sad to watch, so hopefully that's not going to happen. Yeah,
because the grandparents are such a big part of the childcare here. Because when school's out here, it's the grandparents who are usually walking the kid home.
Right, multi-generational living is still a thing in Albania. So you will have grandparents living at home, and they help with the kids, they help with the cooking, and they help,
Yeah.
And it's really nice,
Yeah, so it's fun. But I mean, you know what a grandpa I am, and I love these little kids. They're so cute.
They are. They're adorable.
So, and every once in a while I want to look like Morella. So
Little Morella. Little Max.
So, I think that's about it. I mean, we have lots of other things we want to talk about, but I'm not sure.
It's been really fun. Yeah. We have started to have our meditation practice. Yeah, regularly.
Yeah, you doing meditation online.
Some guiding meditations,
Yeah. We've been driving lots of places.
Yeah, and we're looking for, hopefully, to find a physical space where we can do that. It's been a little bit challenging, so we'll see.
And my Albanian is getting better. It's really funny when we walk into, like, a restaurant or something, especially if it's in more of like the downtown tourist area. Around here, people speak
No,
Albanian
I
to
see.
us when we come in,
Yeah.
but they speak English to us right away, and part of it is because I just don't look Albanian, and then we're not even sure if you don't anymore.
Yeah, and I think they don't think I look much Albanian.
Right.
Either.
But then once you start speaking Albanian, they know, and then they usually ask if I'm Italian or
German.
German, English. Yeah, it's very interesting when they hear me speak English. So, and I want to say it's because of how stylish I am. They think I'm Italian, but I just think it's because it's more likely, especially if it's more likely for someone from one of those countries to be here, especially
right,
with
it's
or
so
married
far.
to an Albanian.
Yeah, right,
more
and
likely,
it's so far away. So yeah.
So, but yeah, it's pretty funny, and I think we said this before. A lot of the older Albanians, they're more likely to speak Italian, or they have kids in Greece, or they have kids in Switzerland or Germany or something. So they'll know some German, or they'll know some Italian or Greek. So when they see I'm not Albanian, they just speak to me in whatever foreign language they know. So they'll say like, "Oh, guten Tag," or "Bonjour,"
Yeah,
or something.
everybody knows at least a couple of words of some language, some other
Yeah.
language that's not Albanian.
Yeah. So, all right. So
Yeah.
I think that's it. And next week, let's see, we want to talk about driving, politics, religion, lots of good stuff. So
Yeah. No, it's been great so far.
Yeah.
It's been great, exploring, spending time with family. It's amazing. The food is delicious.
Oh my God,
yeah.
the food is good.
Yeah.
So I feel like I should videotape that kid down
You
there,
should get the
so.
kid. Okay, let me show you the kid if you can see. Right there. Yeah.
Yes, with
Yep,
his
and
grandma.
his grandpa is there. Yeah.
So, all right. Bye.
All right.
Mir Pavshim.
Mira
See you soon.
See you next
Bye.
time.